Hello, my beautiful witches. Blessed be. This is Way Raven over here. Today is not one of those days that I was meant to film anything for you, but this topic has been in the back of my head for a month now, and this is due to the fact that one of you guys wrote me an email asking me my opinion about what sleep paralysis is. And I think that this is more common and it's a question that is asked a lot more than what you may imagine. There's a lot of taboo and there's a lot of really crazy stories and a lot of scary stuff behind sleep paralysis. So let me share with you a little information on sleep paralysis and what sleep paralysis is for me. Let's do it. Again, this is White Raven over here. I welcome you, witch, and I want to say thank you very much for all your support with my products and my channel and everything you do for me. But sleep paralysis. What is sleep paralysis? Well, I'm going to tell you first what is sleep paralysis from a scientific perspective, which is usually the perspective that I take. So sleep paralysis is, for lack of better words, is a glitch. You have a glitch in your brain at the moment of waking up or falling asleep, and that's pretty much it. But there's so many more things behind experiencing sleep paralysis. Well, there's two types of sleep paralysis. There's sleep paralysis that you experience at the moment of falling asleep, and that is called hypnagogic paralysis. And there's the one that most people suffer, which is the one trying to wake up. This one is called hypnopompic sleep paralysis, which is really reminds me of psychopomps. I don't know why. But anyways, these are the two types of sleep paralysis that you may experience in your life. This is something that happens to 4 people in every 10. So that's a lot of people, guys. And that's not to say that everybody's going to be having sleep paralysis here and there and everywhere. But at least one time in your life, you may experience sleep paralysis. I know I have. Last time I experienced sleep paralysis was about 30 years ago. That's right when I had my son. And I'm going to break a myth right now, and people think that this only happens at the witching hour, and that's more folklore and more fear towards what sleep paralysis is. Sleep paralysis can happen anytime you're sleeping. In my particular case, I think the sleep paralysis that I have experienced in my life have been at nap time. Usually when I'm taking naps, that's when I have experienced sleep paralysis, and my daughter Charlie as well. It's been during nap time. So the most popular sleep paralysis and the one that happens the most, which is the one that we experience when we are waking up, the hypnopompic. Hypnopompic. Say that a lot. Very fast. Kind of hard. Anyway, so what happens? So during our sleep, when we're sleeping, the main reason for you to sleep, for your body to recover, for your body to renew itself and do all the bodily functions that it does when you are resting. So when you're sleeping, your sleep have different patterns. And one of the patterns that we experience during sleeping is REM. That stands for rapid eye movement. When we are going through REM, that's when we have our most vivid and real dreams. So while you are dreaming, or while you are in the middle of your REM stage in your sleep, your body decides to wake up. And so you are completely paralyzed. Because during your REM, your brain is such a smart thing, guys, such a computer that shuts down your voluntary muscles. Now, I was a trainer for a very, very, very long time. And I can tell you that we have voluntary muscles and involuntary muscles. So involuntary muscles are going to be your heart, your lungs, and some other muscles that work all the time without You having to tell your brain to make them work. And your voluntary muscles are muscles that you tell your brain to make them work. So are the muscles that we go and work out when we go to the gym. That is our legs, our abs, our chest, our shoulders, our backs, our arms, biceps, triceps. Those are your voluntary muscles. And your brain is so smart that in order to protect you from acting up on your dreams, your brain said, hey, White Raven, you're dreaming that you are running a marathon, but you know what? I'm going to paralyze you because the idea is for you to dream it, not to act it. So what happened is that when we're having this REM stage in our dream time, we wake up and our body's still asleep. Look at it as if your brain went to have a coffee break and totally forgot to flip the switch to activate you again. Now, the paradox of waking up and not being able to move, being paralyzed, is that you are living two realities at the same time. You are living your awake reality and you are also living your sleep reality. And those two realities are mixed together. And you are living both of them at the same time. That's pretty wicked if you ask me. And pretty much when you're waiting there in bed trying to move, your REM pretty much spill over your awakened time. And everything is absolutely completely mixed and very, very confusing. The intensity of your sleep paralysis is going to depend on your level of awareness. That's very, very, very important. Some people are going to have more horrific sleep paralysis than other people. Sleep paralysis is something that is very well known throughout centuries and every single civilization of this world. Every single civilization. There's a lot of stories behind it, folklore, legends, horrific tales. And the thing is, and there's studies done and documented in regards to this topic, the severity of your sleep paralysis is going to depend on the way you have been conditioned towards it. The more fear people instill on you and your culture instills on you in regards to sleep paralysis, chances are the worse your sleep paralysis is going to be. So what are some factors that are going to affect you and they're going to influence you having some type of sleep paralysis? Well, sleep deprivation. You need to make sure that you sleep. Sleep schedules that change. Sometimes poor nurses, they change their schedules a lot. Policeman, firefighter, people that change their sleep schedules a lot. That can expose you to have sleep paralysis experiences. Mental conditions. Some mental conditions, not all of them. Obviously, stress and anxiety. Sleeping in your back. Never knew that. Substance abuse, some medications, traumatic life events, PTSD, guys, that has a lot to do with the risk of having some sleep paralysis episodes. Now, there's some sleep disorders that can also cause sleep paralysis, and that is narcolepsy and also leg cramping. I don't know that leg cramping was considered a sleep disorder, but apparently it is. So during sleep paralysis, we're going to have something that we all know as hallucinations. And there are going to be 4 different types of hallucinations that we're going to be experiencing during sleep paralysis. The first ones, of course, are going to be visual hallucinations. And examples of these are monsters, ghosts, dead people, old hag, shadow people, multiple people in your room, lights, flashes, bright light and bright colors. You're going to be seeing all this. And there's some very fantastical one, guys, like disembodied body parts. Like people see heads floating, people see hands, people see legs, feet, toes, fingers. These are very fantastical things that our brain can actually create, and they could be very horrific. Giant bugs and animals. About 5 years ago, Charlie came home from work and she took a nap and she had a really nasty experience of sleep paralysis. And she told me that she saw a gigantic spider coming out of the closet to hurt her. you know? So those are things that we see in the visual hallucinations that we have. We can also see aliens. This is very, very common. As a matter of fact, a lot of alien abductions are linked to sleep paralysis, experiences that people live during sleep paralysis. Other people see demons, vampires, gargoyles, you name it. You're going to see zombies, you're going to see deceased people, you're going to see things from the realm of nightmares, guys. Really, really shocking experience is to have sleep paralysis. The second hallucination that we're going to be having are going to be auditory hallucinations. So these are things that we're not only going to be seeing stuff, but we're also going to be hearing stuff. So things that you can hear are shrieks, like the banshee. That's pretty creepy if you ask me. You're also going to hear sirens, rings, knocks, steps, people breathing in your ear. You're going to hear laughter. You're going to hear people crying, voices in different languages even. You're going to hear buzzing and static noise. And those things are just nasty. I mean, these are things that you really wish you didn't have to experience, but we do. Number 3 is going to be tactile hallucinations. Things that you're going to feel. You're going to feel touch. One of the most common things is feeling an old hag, feeling a demon, feeling someone sitting in your chest. Not only you feel it, but you also see it. This is why many people call it old hag syndrome, because a lot of people experience somebody sitting on top of their chest. You're going to have the feeling of being tied down or weighed down. You're going to have a lot of trouble breathing, not being able to breathe. Now, there's a scientific reason for you not to be able to breathe easily. During REM, your body has limited your diaphragm to do only shallow rhythmic breathing. So when you wake up, your diaphragm is still doing the shallow rhythmic breathing. And taking in consideration that you're seeing all these scary things, breathing becomes some serious challenge. And you feel like somebody's choking you and legit you're going to die. Some other people have an out-of-the-body experience, and that was my case last time. I remember having sleep paralysis. You're going to feel like you're floating, like you're either falling, like you're either flying. You also are going to feel the sensation of being bitten. You're going to feel bugs crawling all over you. You also may feel the urge of laugh uncontrollably. It's just really bizarre. Last but not least, you're going to have olfactory hallucinations. And I don't have to explain to myself too much. You're going to be able to experience smells. A lot and very common is to feel like smoke. So you feel not only you cannot move and you're seeing all these horrific things, but you're also thinking that your house is on fire. It's terrible. You can also smell flowers. You can smell perfumes, aromas, different aromas. But worse than you can smell putrid smells. And if you think about it, how terrible it is that you're in the middle of this nightmare, that you are awake and you cannot move. You're seeing dead people around you. And on top of that, you can hear them, you can feel them, and you can smell them. Like, it doesn't get any more real than this. It's truly a terrible experience. Last but not least, let's talk about the least common ones. And these are a little bit more disturbing. And I'm just glad I haven't experienced any sleep paralysis in so many years. And the last time I did, it was just silly. But you can feel like you're being dragged. And just drag. Somebody grabbing you by your feet and you're being dragged, by your hands and you're being dragged. Also, some people may feel sexual contact. And of course, some people refers to this as the succubus and the incubus. I have a spell in this channel in regards to that. It's a spell to get rid of this. Check it out. I may list it in the description of the video. So why do we see scary things? Why scary things? I was telling my man, I was talking about this with my man. It's like, it's just incredible that you see ugly things. But why ugly things? Well, it's very simple, guys. Number one, your body wants to get up. Your body wants to wake up. You are trying as hard as you can to wake your body up. And unfortunately, this fight or flight adrenaline moment needs to kick in and you need to wake up. And unfortunately, ugly stuff is going to make you do that. Also, guys, in our threshold state, in that state that we're living two realities at the same time, we distort things. Everything turns blurry. You don't know what is what. Remember, your dreams and your REM spill over into your day reality, into your awake reality. So a pile of clothes is going to look like a monster. Or clothes in a seat in your room is going to look like somebody sitting there looking at you. Lights in your alarm clocks may look like bug's eye. A light coming from a door or a window may even look like a threshold, like a vortex, like a light tunnel, like an alien. So unfortunately, yes, we distort things that we see when we are at that state. This is crazy. Plus witches. An active imagination can absolutely shape physiological experiences. Especially us witches that we visualize so much, our imagination is extremely active. When you have an active imagination, this is why children have so many night terrors and they see so many things. We can turn our physiological experiences and feelings into things. Meaning, if you're feeling really afraid and you're having your heart beating really fast, your imagination is going to transform that into something visual that you can see. Therefore, you're going to be seeing things that are going to make your heart beat really fast, like something horrendous, something shocking. So then the reality is that nobody comes out of this state feeling comforted. So what are you to do in order to avoid sleep paralysis? Well, the first thing that you have to do is try to sleep every day at the same time for the same amount of time. It's very important. Stay away from substances as much as you can. Remember, there's many drugs out there, and when I say drugs, I'm also including medications. Try to exercise, guys. Try to exercise as much as you can. Eat good, live a healthy life. Try to manage your stress, maybe prior to going to sleep. Read something, take something. I usually take St. John's before going to sleep, and I love because it makes me relax. Lately, I've been taking CBD, and I'm really loving it. So when I go to bed, I'm super chill and super relaxed. But those are things that maybe you need to start thinking about. What are you going to do? Plus, guys, the most important thing, knowledge. You need to learn. You need to know exactly what sleep paralysis is. The more you know, the more aware you become. On and all, guys, still is a mystery. And science know a good amount of information in regards to sleep paralysis, but they still consider sleep paralysis a mystery. Okay, White Raven, but you are a witch. Well, witches, let me tell you my perspective on sleep paralysis. As a witch, we understand that we are astral beings as well, that we have a spirit, that astral travel and we do lucid dreams and we visit all these realms when we are asleep. As a matter of fact, the strongest communication that I have with my dead and with the spiritual world, I have it while I am asleep. Because I open myself up for communication. Yes, I do a lot of exercises for protection in order to be able to do this in a healthy and safe way. But as a witch, I understand that the astral realm is very real. And I understand that when you are asleep, you can get very, very in touch with the astral realm. So what is to say that what you're seeing when you are experiencing sleep paralysis is not real? Well, this is some of the things that I want to tell you, witch. The number one practice that is going to keep you sane during a sleep paralysis experience is going to be meditation. When we are meditating, we're almost on a sleep paralysis state. The more you meditate, the more you are aware of how you feel when you are in the astral plane. And you get to recognize your spirit, recognize what is positive and what is negative. A lot of the things that we see in our sleep paralysis, guys, are metaphors. So they are a result of the type of life that we're living at the moment that we have in the sleep paralysis. So maybe, just maybe, you need to face what you're seeing and ask them, what do you want? The more awareness we have of our spiritual astral self, the better we are controlling any type of negative, evil entity. We're able to cast them out of our surrounding, of our gravity, and the better we are calling upon angels, ancestors, guardians to keep us safe whenever we encounter things that do not belong in our astral realm. In order for you, witch, to do this, you must practice. You must learn from a scientific point of view what sleep paralysis is, and you must also practice meditation, lucid dreaming, astral traveling. And when I say practice, you must learn, you must study what all this means, because that way you be more able to recognize and protect yourself from evil entities. I have done this many times in my dreams, witches, and I'm pretty sure you have too. How many times have you dreamed with an evil entity, and in your dream you're able to cast it out? In your dream you're able to face it and say, leave me alone, get lost. This is something that you acquire practicing your meditation, practicing your astral traveling, practicing your lucid dreaming, reading, studying, cleaning up. Make sure that before you go to sleep, you have some kind of sleeping rituals for you to protect yourself, and even meditate before I fall asleep. There are many things that you can do, which in order for you to stay away, stay clear from sleep paralysis, or if you experience it, just to be aware that what you are experiencing is sleep paralysis. And if there's any astral being in your sleep paralysis experience, know how to handle it. I hope this gives you a little bit of clarity when it comes to sleep paralysis. It's a very scary thing. Even me knowing all these things that I know, I don't want to experience any sleep paralysis. But if it happens, I am ready to communicate to whatever it is that is in that realm, and I am ready to call upon my ancestors, my guides, my protectors to assist me if I am lacking of some courage. Email me if you have any questions, layerofthewitch@yahoo.com, and please, I am dying to know, leave in the comments your experience. Do you suffer from sleep paralysis? What are some wicked things that you have seen in your sleep paralysis? And if there's something that you do, I would love to know. Sharing is caring. Maybe other people are going to be reading those comments and they may need your advice. It is always awesome talking to you, witches. I am so excited to come before you every time. You must stay very smart. Knowledge is power. And above all, you must stay very wicked. Bye.